Hello and welcome back to Stand Up for Change. Today, I got Sammy back in the house with us today from Kua Zone. Thank you for being here, Sammy. Give it up, people. Give it up. Woo. Sammy in the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, today we are going to talk to Sammy about his journey, who he is, about his family, about Kua Zone and how he started that, and then why he joined us here at HR4U Incorporated as a strategic alliance partner. And so, the very first question I always ask any of our guests on Stand Up for Change is this. If people were following you and they thought, oh, I really like that guy, I know that dude, what is one thing that you would like to share personally and professionally that they may not know?
Awesome. First of all, thank you so much, Chason, for having me here. I think there's one thing that people maybe I haven't been able to share quite a lot. Of course, in terms of profession, just to mention that I run an agribusiness consulting company, which I've done for about 10 years, and I haven't been really sharing that so much on these platforms. And I think that has also been able to support me into my other mission at Kua Zone. So, and of course, the work that I do, because we do a lot of work with the community engagement, community support, supporting people to start businesses and all that. I think I've used all that expertise now into my work at Kua Zone. And so I think that is something that I've not been talking about, but I've done it for 10 years now.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Talk about who Sammy is. Where did you start out? Like, where do you come from? Have you always lived where you are now? Tell people where you are and what your journey has been like. Share what you'd like to share about how you got to this place.
All right. Yeah. So Sammy Kariuki is born and raised in Kenya, a place called Kiambu, but I now live in Nairobi. Nairobi is our capital city, so it's where I live now. And so I started, of course, like any other kid, growing up in a village in Kenya. And I always inspired to see how I could in future, have a global impact. And of course, this was based on what I used to watch when growing up. There's a football match we used to call, football made in Germany. So I don't know whether I used to watch it there, Chason in the US, but we used to watch football made in Germany. And of course, when I was growing up as a kid, and I really got inspired by the footballers. And I was keeping and saying, one day I would want to see how I can have some global impact. So, first think forward. And of course, I joined university. Before joining university, I used to work for an export company. They gave me just after clearing what we call high school here in Kenya, and joining in between, there's a period of about close to 2 years. So I started working with them, maybe some junior positions. And then after that, joined the campus, and I was doing my BSc in agribusiness, and of course later my master's in agribusiness. And during the holidays, I could still go back and work in the company. And so during that period, I was able to learn quite a lot because I worked in so many departments, be it marketing, be it operations, be it finance. So I became a very all-rounded person, when you look at things to do with business management and all that, to a point that by the time I was, exiting the company, I was the general manager. And of course, we used to sell and export products to Europe and other nations. So I also had opportunities to go out there, meet our customers, and see how the technologies that they used to drive, or rather how they were doing things. And also this also included visiting and having exhibitions. Let's say in Germany, we could go there to meet our customers, look at so many advanced technologies. And this is actually what really inspired me to see how could we transform our communities leveraging technology. So, and that now really kept me thinking, what can I do? Also considering my mission of trying to see how I can have some global impact. So what I did is that in 20 I got married in 2012. That's when I got married, and so I shared my vision with my wife, who has really been very supportive to this date. And of course, we committed to do something to see how best we can transform the communities. So and then after that, of course, got the kids, and so I have now 3 children. So I'm a father of 3.
Nice.
So and I'm very proud of that.
Now,
And
how old are your kids? What's
so
the youngest to the oldest?
so the youngest is turning 4 in April.
Oh, wow.
The second born is 6 years, and the firstborn son is 10 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
You got your hands full. You got your hands full, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
so please continue. But I just wanted, I love to know that. I love to have that down. And you got, I've seen some of your kids and your wife pop on every now and then to some of our conversations. Got a beautiful
Yes.
family, man. So awesome. All right. So yeah. So you were working in export, and keep telling us about your journey.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. So as I said, of course, I got married, and we now have 3 children. And another surprising thing is that the time that we got our firstborn son is the same month that I actually quit formal employment. That was back in 2013. So I quit formal employment and now ventured into consulting business. So I run a company called Timax Agribusiness Solutions, and I've worked for the last 10 years now. Up to, even now it's still ongoing, and I've had the privilege of working with some leading development agencies, be it what we call Conservation International, the Netherlands Development Organization, and many others here in Kenya, supporting communities, supporting entrepreneurs, small and medium scale entrepreneurs, supporting them on either marketing or enterprise development, among others.
Nice.
And of course, that is still ongoing. But as I said, along the way, I wanted to see how can I impact these technologies that I could see out there when I used to go for the exhibitions that's in Berlin and all that, and bring them back home. So along the way, we decided with my wife, we're going to set up a physical premises where we can be bringing young people and have them learn about technology and show them various innovations. And of course, we had to procure the premises and all that, and now setting up. So we started the journey in 2015. That's what, of course, now setting up, buying, procuring land and all that. But of course, it was until 2019 that is when we were able to now complete the building. But now, when we were just about now to launch the physical classes, of course, COVID came. But in between there, we were doing a bit of pilot. That's how now we started Kua Zone. And what we did is that we started with our son when he was just 6 years. We exposed him now to coding because, of course, we could see what these professionals would do. Owners of the big tech companies, how they started, coding at a very young age. Of course, we started with our son, and he said, "Wow, Dad, I'm going to try this." And within 3 months, I could see a lot of progress in him. And of course, with that, I got empowered and tried to reach out to a few other families to see how can we be able then to have more kids come on board to learn with our son, and that's how we actually did it. And now, of course, when COVID came, as I said, we couldn't do like the physical in-person classes, so we had now to pivot to virtual. And of course, which I think for us it was actually somehow really a blessing because it
I was going to
opened
say beneficial because it just showed that the power of your platform. Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
The technology. Yes. So now the parents, of course, could then sign up for their kids now during the COVID period. And that's how now we really now had Kua Zone take off. And that's how we started way back in 2020, 2021, now onboarding students, learning virtually via Zoom, coding and doing amazing things. Parents are getting a lot of excitement and supporting us in a big way. And so that's how the journey actually started. And of course, now, as we say, the word Kua means grow. So it's a grow zone for the young one. Yeah,
absolutely. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
It's a grow zone. Yeah. So now going back to why the key things that we also try to drive as we run Kua Zone is, of course, maybe I was able to do one or two things because of the skills that I had acquired. So, we are also trying to see how can we impact the skills, the technical skills in terms of coding. Those are the tech skills, but also entrepreneurship skills. You see, as I said, for me, I had joined a company before joining university, so I could literally see how a company is managed, from marketing to accounting, all that. So I'm trying to see how can we also do the same, for the young kids, to see that they can actually become entrepreneurs in future. They can run their own businesses.
That's
Yeah, so
incredible.
that's how we're looking at the skills that we aim to impact on the young ones. Not just coding, but also now using those skills to start and a business, a tech-based business. Then the other thing is, of course, the mindset. Trying to see how can they have a growth mindset, just in line with our name Kua, which means
Perfect.
grow. For them to have a growth mindset, and also for them to also have a global mindset. They need to see that the world is now on their phones, on their hands. Because they're able to connect with anyone from anywhere in the world. So they need to see how can they optimize opportunities, whether they're in the US or they're here in Kenya. So that's the kind of thing that we're also trying to do. And that's why you were able to see in the show. I'm sure you've been able to attend one of our shows, and that is why we are doing that, for them to feel that they can have a global impact, to have that global mindset. And also finally,
no, go ahead, please.
yes, and also finally, it's now the networking, because of course I know in our previous session we were talking about collaboration. So we can't do much without having networking with people. So we are trying to see how can they also connect, with people in the US, people here in Kenya, and do business together in future. So that's how we're looking at it. So it's all about the skills, about the mindset, and of course about the networking. So that's what we're trying to achieve. And of course, last year the World Economic Forum did a study and realized that we are not preparing our children, for the future of work, for the future of business. And actually, they mentioned about 5 areas that we need to really work on. First of all, is to sharpen our children in terms of the soft skills, the collaboration, the networking. That is quite important. They need that for them to be able to go to the next level. They need to also embrace the entrepreneurial skills. They need to know why entrepreneurs make decisions, why they make them, and whether they're going to become entrepreneurs themselves or they're going to work for other people. It's important to have that, and
It's
that is
still
something that,
important either way. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Understanding that mindset. Yeah.
it's quite important. Also, the issue of global citizenship. They need to know that we are one people. The impact here in Kenya affects someone in the US. So, let's say, for example, the global warming. So they need to know those things and how can be enhanced. Also, the issue of environmental stewardship. They need to become the stewards. They need to know that the future belongs to them. So they need to see how can they take care of the environment. So those are some of the things that we are trying to also integrate as we do and work at Kua Zone. So as we continued, yes, Jason.
No, I was just going to say, I was just going to tag onto that in the presentation that I got to see from the kids, they all wrapped all of the work that they're doing and the website and everything that they're creating into social good programs to help the environment. And I love that. And I loved it. And there was another lady that was in your area that was from a zoo. And she was like, oh, we got to get the kids over here. They've got to see this. I love that part because she understood from what the kids were doing how important it is that the kids see the future of your country and all of our countries and all of our continents, and how we press forward and make the world not only a safer place, a better place, but we make sure that we have a world that can sustain the growth and all of the people that are coming and the generations to come. So I love that. I thought that was fantastic. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, so that is what we've been doing, of course, here in Kenya. But of course, now last year we decided now to venture out there and see how we can be able to onboard, parents, let's say from the US, parents from Europe, and those are things that we are doing, and we are still laying the strategies, And of course, such a platform enables us to be able to reach out to American families and other people across the world to be able to see how we can be able to work together. So that is what we are doing. But of course, also we are running some other projects. We have like 2 other projects. We are working with some European partners. One of them is on digital transformation, Kenya. So we are trying to build a very robust curriculum that could be used across Kenya, and of course, even beyond Kenya. So we're working with some leading partners in Europe to see how best we can be able to develop that. And of course, it's also as part of contributing towards youth empowerment, so that they can be able to see how they can become future entrepreneurs. Also on the side, we're also working with some other partners, again from Europe and other African partners, to work on a very robust regenerative agriculture curriculum that will be used across Africa, and also across Europe. So we're also doing that, and this is just as a way of trying to see how can we better do the farming, and of course have more people access sufficient food, even as we take care of the environment. So that's how we are looking at it. And of course, this we're doing through Kua Zone. So Kua Zone is digitizing all this content on behalf of our partners, and still working with some other partners in this. And we are very, very excited. So we're just we're just getting to start. And you can see already we have European partners now with the American partners, and of course reaching out to more people to see how they can come and we work together to really empower our young generation, so that we can empower them to seize their future, because they're the future leaders, they are the future entrepreneurs. So we need to support them and give them the skills, the mindset, and the networks that they need.
I love it. I love it. So what do you hope to see in the next 5 years from Kua Zone?
So we have an ambitious goal. So our aim is by 2030 to see within our platform how we can impact about a million young people across the world. And so this year we're trying to see how we can reach out to about 10,000, and maybe in the next 3 about 100,000. Then by 2030 to have about 1 million. So when you see this, for us to achieve that, we really require a lot of collaboration, a lot of partners from all parts of the world. And of course, as I said, we just started, having some strong and solid partnerships. But now we also want to, to really build more, have more parents buy into idea, so that, because we have to work with them. At the end of it all, these children, they are responsible. So we aim to still reach out to more parents, reach out to more stakeholders who can support our mission, including entrepreneurs who could be willing to even mentor the young people.
I love it. I love it. We want to be as involved as we absolutely can be. And I will tell you that last year, HR4U reached over 500,000 people. We came just shy of our goal. Our goal was to reach 600,000 people, and we came just shy of that. This year, we will reach 1 million people, and that's all of our channels, all of our networks, everything combined together. A growing YouTube channel, which this is going to be on, and it's incredible to me when we tell these stories and we release these episodes, how many people actually come and view this, read through this, and get involved. I love hearing the stories of, hey, I got a new partner, I got a family involved because we happen to see this just randomly on one of your channels or on your social media. It makes us feel great, because our whole intent through our collaborations is to bring light to great people like yourself and great organizations like Kua Zone that are creating change. You're creating change in the world, and you're breaking down barriers. So I love that. And, we talked about this in our Time to Change podcast about collaborations, but why join a company that's a nonprofit in the United States? Why have that kind of collaboration? What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to Kua Zone?
All right. So, of course, before we got to partner with you, I know it has been a journey. Of course, we connected way back in 2022, and of course, we were able to first of all see your values and see that they actually also align with our values. Because I remember you started supporting me, through my posts way back in 2022, and that is really, first of all, that's something that really attracted me to you. Of course, as a person, and of course, as a founder of the organization. And what I believed is, by working with you through your nonprofit, maybe you could be able to support, just like the way now you're doing, in terms of let's say creating awareness to see how best we can be able to impact the Americans. Because of course, just like the way you're trying to have a global impact, it is the same thing that we're also trying to see how we can achieve that at Kua Zone. So we are very happy to collaborate with you so that you can be able to support our mission. And of course, I also forgot to mention, I know you also have this initiative of the transformative kitchen. So I think that maybe we could also be able to set up one, in Africa. Probably could be the first one to, to set this up. Working
You
with
read
you.
my mind. I was just gonna say it. I was gonna just call it right out, man. We would love in the next we're gonna open our first one. You've been watching this. I've been calling it out. That we're gonna open our very first transformation kitchen in New York in the Hudson Valley this year. I see 5 years from now that not only are we starting to open in other cities, other major cities in the United States, but that we're in other countries. And I would love to see it. We have partners in 6 other countries that do business in the United States and that care about living wage and they care about putting people first. So Sammy, it would be my honor to be in your hometown, creating a transformation kitchen, tying it in with Kua Zone, and figuring out how young people and people early in their career can make a better life for themselves and be culinary entrepreneurs. That would be so awesome.
Exactly. And I think we do, because we could get the space. We also have some equipment. Just before COVID, we used to run a pizza outlet. So it was near university, but of course we closed it down because of COVID. So we have a bit of equipment. And so when I've been watching your journey, I thought, wow, this is something that we can do, maybe a transformative kitchen here in Kenya.
Oh, it's so awesome.
We look into that.
So awesome. I am thrilled about your journey. I'm thrilled that you're a partner with us. I'm thrilled to think boldly about what the future holds. People can. I'm going to throw up your banner up here real quick as we're kind of closing in the conversation. But man, I love what you're doing. I love the whole program. Anything we can do to help, we want to do. Here's the website right here. You can reach out to Sammy through social media. He's a lot active on LinkedIn. Also, you can reach out to me and I will get you connected. But to end the segment, I would love for you just to give your view on what it means to have a social impact. You talked about it a little bit, but just ending this, because I think it's so fitting, because it's so important to have a social and ecological impact on the world, so that you're not just creating a business just for profit, but you're creating a business that's going to improve the lives of people and what that means to you. So we'll end the segment with that question, and take it away, Sammy.
Awesome. So I think when I was just explaining about my journey, I forgot to mention that way back in 2015, through one of the development agencies that we work with, they took us for a training just about, societal leadership, how we can become social entrepreneurs who can have impact within the communities, be it, social impact, environmental impact, and of course, economic impact, and also run it as a sustainable business. And of course, that is what we've been trying to embrace here at Kua Zone. So, because of course, when you look at what we're aiming to achieve is to empower our young people so that they can be able to, in future, earn sustainable income. So you see, it's really having a social impact in terms of having them be able in future to have income. But even at present, because of them now being engaged through what they are learning. So it then means that they're not involved in other, immoral social activities. And that's what we are getting, then from the parents, when they do like the coding and all that, they know that, their kids are doing the right things. So they're not maybe using it or using technology for other, harmful activities. These are the feedback that we're getting. So when we look at it, it's really having that, the societal impact or the social impact. And of course, as we go along, we're able to have them generate income and even employ other people. And that is really what we're aiming to achieve. And of course, now through the cross-border learning, once we connect Americans and the African kids, they do work together. They co-create projects, they co-create companies that could serve the global market. I do believe that we shall be able to take them to now that global level and really have a big global impact. And yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. I love it. And I love having this time to talk with you, getting you to introduce yourself to other people. And I hope that this grows and grows. And I'm looking forward to that Transformation Kitchen. They're right in the heart of where you are in Nairobi. So I love it. We're going to keep talking. We're going to keep inspiring, and we're going to keep collaborating, my friend. So you have been talking to Sammy and I on Stand Up for Change. Thank you for being a part of HR for You's community, and we will catch you next time.